Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's Monday, November 14th, 2016. This morning, I've been going over my notes regarding Donald Trump, the Berlin Wall, the assassination of John F. Kennedy. I think I have figured out the date that Donald Trump's presidential term is to come to an end, and that date will be May 18th, 2017. We're going to get to why that's the date. Let's first go back and look at the riddle with the Berlin Wall, John F. Kennedy, and Donald Trump. We're also going to talk about September 11th and a few other important things in this video. So look, Berlin Wall, the construction began August 13th. August 13th, 1961, the year JFK became President of the United States. August 13th is a date relevant to the name Donald Trump. Donald Trump in Gematria sums to 138. And recall, Donald Trump was announced as the 45th president on November 9th, 2016, the 27-year anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Berlin Wall in Gematria sums to 45, also like Dealey Plaza where JFK was assassinated. And of course, Trump is the 45th president in terms of number. JFK, as a reminder, went to the site of the Berlin Wall June 26, 1963, 149 days before he would be assassinated. He gave a speech about the wall. JFK, the last president to be assassinated. Here's a parallel between JFK and Donald Trump in numbers in regards to the presidency. JFK was the 35th president. The word Catholic equals 35. He was the only Catholic president. He was also the 44th term president because some presidents have more than one term. Donald Trump's the 45th president, but only the 44th person to be president because the counts have been off ever since Grover Cleveland. Grover Cleveland had a split term. He was number 22 and number 24, meaning the 25th president was the 24th person to be president all the way up to present. The word kill in Gematria sums to 44. JFK 44th term, Donald Trump 44th president. In the history of Israel, there were 44 kings. Donald Trump's the 44th man, king, to be president. So anyhow, August 13th, 1961, to the day JFK was shot and killed in Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree master mason, was 831 days, the reflection of 138. And we're going to talk about how those numbers connect to Saturn and how Saturn connects to 45. But first, I want to make this point. Think about this. The film that captures JFK's death is called the Zapruder film. It's made by a 33rd degree master Freemason. Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree master Freemason, 11 plus 22, 33. 1122 death. His assassin, Oswald, Lee Harvey Oswald, supposedly had come back from Russia. Think about the parallels right now with Donald Trump and Russia and Putin. There's this narrative with Russia with Donald Trump. There was the narrative with Russia, the Berlin Wall, with JFK. Parallels, clues being left for us by the numbers. With regards to 33, the number of the Master Mason, Donald Trump became a TV celebrity in 1984. In 2017, it will mark 33 years that he's been a celebrity, the year he's set to take office. 33. We're going to talk about how the World Trade Centers existed for 33 years. So again, from the start of the Berlin Wall to JFK's death, 831 days. When you add 138 plus 831, you get the number 969. And here's what you need to know about that number in regards to Saturn. Saturn is said to be the keeper of time, to the occult. Saturn's supposed orbital speed of the sun is 9.69 kilometers a second. 969, 969. You see this? Saturn has something called its magic square. The sum of the magic square of Saturn adds up to 45. Donald Trump, the 45th president. Dealey Plaza, 45. Berlin Wall, 45. Saturn, very important to the occult. Again, the keeper of time. We're going to talk about how the words president and time and the date JFK, as well as his brother and other presidents, have died by the numbers of time. We'll get into that in just a moment. Real quick, I want to talk about the date the Berlin Wall fell. The date it was announced Donald Trump was the president, November 9th. Master plan equals 119, all-seeing eye, Star of David, Milky Way. In most parts of the world, the date September 11th is written 11/9, day before the month. 119, very special number. And real quick, in case you missed this video, I put out a longer video on this. I'm just going to show you the commercial. I fully decoded this commercial. This is from 2010. Check this out. Look at what is shown about Donald Trump, sheep. Watch this commercial. Notice the numbers in the hallway on the sheep in regards to 11 and 9. This is mind-blowing. This is 2010.
So what do you think of my Trump Home mattress collection by Serta? Finally, the same luxury and comfort I demand in my hotels.
Oh, they'll never count sheep again.
Listen, why don't you come work for me?
What do you have in mind?
Something you were born to do.
Welcome to room 9.
Looking good, number 9. Looking good.
Where's your dignity?
Save now on this.
When you come work for me?
What do you have in mind?
Something you were born to do.
Welcome to room 9.
Looking good, number 9. Looking good.
Where's your dignity?
Save now on this Trump Home Luxury Suites mattress.
So did you
during
catch it,
the
Truth
Serta
Seeker?
Luxury Suite Savings event.
The
Now,
11 nines on the sheep in the hallway. Born to do. We live in a nation where presidents are not elected, they are selected. Donald Trump was chosen from a young age. Look at what year he was born. 46, just like Bill Clinton, just like George W. Bush. It's like a fraternity of these men were raised from a young age for their future roles in our society, planned out by the numbers. George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones, the Masonic order, worshiping 33 in 68, 33 years before he became president. Donald Trump, a celebrity, 33 years before he's about to take office in 2017. Okay. And also with regards to Saturn, space, Milky Way, 119. You know, Saturn, keeper of time. So look here. May 18th will be the 138th day of the year. Donald Trump, 138. Berlin Wall construction began 13/8. From Inauguration Day to May 18th is 118 days. Donald Trump was just elected November 8th. 11/8. That's a number connected to death. Lincoln, the first presidential assassination, he had been reelected November 8th, was killed by an actor in a theater, so we're told, not long after, by the numbers. Numbers we'll talk about. From Inauguration Day to May 18th is also a span of 119 days, 119 again, you know. May 18th, it will also be a date with a life lesson number of 33. It's the life lesson number that day, 33. False flag equals 33. Masonry 33. Secrecy 33. Order 33. Think about this. His election date, November 9th. In most parts of the world, that date's written 9/11, day before the month, like 911. 911 is the 156th prime number. When you write out 33, it sums to 156. February 2nd is the 33rd day of the year. When you write out February 2nd, it sums to 156. The motto, as above, so below, equals 156. We talked about the Star of David, the two three-sided triangles, stamped on our money, our Federal Reserve, the flag of Israel. As above, so below is what that symbol represents. An arrow pointing up, an arrow pointing down. Important occult motto. Important to the Freemasons. When you write out 666, it sums to 156. Number having to do with prophecy, which we'll get to. False flag has gematria of 156 as well as 33. Again, 1984 to 2017, 33 years that Donald Trump was a celebrity. 1968, the year George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones. That was the year World Trade Center construction began in New York. That was the year 911 was made the national emergency dialing code. 33 years before 2001. 33 156, 911, all coming together. The construction firm that built the World Trade Centers, Magnus and Klemenkic Associates, their name equals 156. With regards to there being this parallel between Berlin Wall, Kennedy, Dealey Plaza, 11/22/63, Trump, the 33-year celebrity. Look at this. Berlin 33, Kennedy 33, Order 33, Secrecy 33, Masonry 33. The Freemasons believe in order out of chaos. Order out of chaos. I'll point this out. Bush was born in 46, so was Trump. The word chaos, 46. We had order out of chaos on September 11th, 2001. We'll have order out of chaos with the staged assassination, the planned assassination of Donald Trump, who is an actor. And actors are always willing to play the part of someone who dies. We know that from all the movies made. And we know in this nation's history, we have a history of actors as presidents. Ronald Reagan, the 33rd governor of California, who had the assassination attempt on him. With regards to Trump becoming a celebrity in 1984, he went to the Jesuit University in New York, Fordham. Jesuit equals 84, like United States of America, special number to the history of this nation. That date, May 18th, what we're looking at, the 138th day of the year. Notice it leaves 227 days left in the year. We'll talk about that number. Fordham University, 227, where Trump went. But look at this. May 18th, that date can be written 18/5, a lot like 185. World Trade Center in gematria sums to 185. Remember, Donald Trump's book, published January 15th, 2000, predicts that Osama bin Laden will attack the World Trade Centers, showing us that he's part of the gang that knows the agenda, that mocks the masses. In the last year, how many times have I pointed out that Donald Trump said something and then a news story came along, following his rhetoric? He said that Mexicans are doing the raping. Mexicans are a threat. And then we had this story about an illegal immigrant in San Francisco on a pier picking up a federal agent's gun and accidentally shooting and killing a woman. And then they had him on the news, and it was obvious he didn't speak English, and he was kind of laughing through the questions. We're being mocked. We're being told lies. We're being told false stories. It's all propaganda. Donald Trump made the comment about Belgium. The next thing you knew, just days later, there was a terrorist attack there by the numbers. March 22nd, 322, number of Skull and Bones. Remember, Bush was a Skull and Bones member, just like his father. Remember, in 2004, Bush ran against John Kerry, who was also that member of Skull and Bones. Tim Russert asked both of them in 2004 about 322 and what it meant, since they were both members and they both said it's a secret they can't tell. Tim Russert would die not long after at 2:23 in the afternoon local time where he was. Look it up. Reported that way. Anyway, World Trade Center equals 185. We scare because we care equals 185. That's from the movie Monsters, Inc., which came out right after September 11th, where the film has all sorts of tributes by the numbers to the World Trade Centers. Have a long video on that. With regards to May 18th, leaving 227 days left in the year, very special number connected to the history of assassinations. They say that Lincoln died at 7:22 in the morning. The first presidential assassination, 722, 227, reflections of each other, like 138, 831. The full name for the investigation of JFK's death sums to 722, have multiple videos on that. The car that was in front of him in Dealey Plaza, on the license plate, it began 227, 227. Ronald Reagan assassination attempt was March 30th, 1981 at 2:27 in the afternoon. Another way to say that time is 33 minutes till 3. 227, though, very special number related to pi. The Reagan assassination, he was the 33rd governor. March 30th, 3 plus 30, 33. It was a date with 114 numerology. President of the United States equals 114. So does Trump card. Donald Trump elected at the end of the 114th Congress during the time of the show House of Cards about the White House. It was a date with 133 numerology, White House 133, government 133. I have a video from the first Republican debate talking about, I hope Donald Trump's not the next president, They said at the debate he's the 133rd richest man in the world. And then just days after that, Fox News had a story about it being his 133rd appearance on some program. You know, all this time I've shown that Trump could be the next president. I just thought they were mocking us. I thought there was no way they would put him in there. But now that he's in there, they're really mocking us. I just didn't think the mocking could get this bad. You know, I'm surprised, but not super surprised. So anyway, 22 divided by 7, this number 227, this is why it's so special. When you divide 22 by 7, you get the number for pi. In gematria, when you write out 22 divided by 7, it sums to 314, a lot like 3.14 for pi. Pi has something special. In Revelation, the book of prophecy, I just put out a video the other day on how in Revelation it's the trumpets that warn. Here we have the Trump-Pence ticket. Holy Bible equals 45, 45th president. Anyway, Trump-Pence, in Revelation, the book of prophecy and destruction that concludes the Bible, the number 144,000 is used, the number 144 is used, and so is the number 666. Turns out there's a relationship between 144 and 666. If you take the first 144 decimal points of pi and you add them together, they sum to 666. Revelation is the book of prophecy. Prophecy in Jewish gematria sums to 666. Revelation is also the 66th book of most Bibles. The number 666 is truly called the number of the beast. Number of the beast equals 66. If you write out the number 6, we're talking about how 666 connects to prophecy. The 66th book is the book of prophecy. When you write out 6, it has the gematria connection to prophecy as well. And Donald Trump, he graduated from Fordham University, or he didn't graduate, but he started there at his Jesuit training in 64, 52 years before 2016. And I don't think that's a coincidence. It's a number connected to assassinations and assassination attempts, like the Reagan attempt happened on a date with a life lesson number of 52. See Reagan and 666, him and Nancy Reagan. Got videos on both of their deaths by the numbers. Ronald Reagan died by the numbers of Saturn. Died on the 156th day of the year at the age of 93. Saturn, 93 in simple English gematria. Saturn, the keeper of time. They say that the sun, which is truly the keeper of time, is 93 million miles away. Anyway, Trump started his Jesuit training 1964, 52 years before 2016. Notice the gematria of the university, 227. Some people call 666 the mark of the beast. Mark of the beast equals 144. Again, we just talked about the relationship between 144 and 666. It's Revelation 13:18, which talks about the number of the beast. His number is 600, 6. Score means 20, so 60 is 60. That's why Lincoln said 7 years ago. He wanted to get that 4 and 7 in there too, because president equals 47. But anyway, number of the beast, gematria of 174, like New World Order, which is what runs the United States of America. The New World Order is an old world order. It's a Masonic, Zionist, banker, satanic world order. It's what's created this nation from the beginning. It's why this nation began out of a genocide. The word genocide has gematria 44, just like the word kill, like military. Number of the beast, the small way, 66. Revelation, the 66th book. So anyway, more on 144 and 44. Again, JFK, 35th president, only Catholic. Catholic 35. He was also the 44th term president. Trump number 45, but the 44th person to be president. 44 and 144 connected to killing throughout history. The word time in Jewish gematria equals 144. The square root of 144 is 12. 12 times 12 is 144. 12 months in a year, 12 hours in the AM and the PM. Think about the hands on a clock, 1 through 12. Clock has gematria 44, so does the word kill. And when you write out 44, it sums to 144. The first presidential assassination was Abraham. Abraham equals 44. If you check in history, it says that Lincoln, on April 4th, dreamt he would be shot. He would be shot 10 days later on April 14th, which is written 14/4 in most parts of the world. 14/4 like 144. That was also 10 days later he was shot. He dreamt on April 4th. He was shot on April 14th, 10 days later. In history, Bobby Kennedy gave a speech on gun control in the 33rd state, Oregon. He would be shot 10 days later, and he would die reportedly at 1:44 in the morning, Bobby Kennedy. Martin Luther King Jr. that year, who he was talking about in his speech, was shot on April 4th, 4-4. Notice how April 4th and 44 both sum to 144? Not a coincidence. Our calendar, our language, it has been built by this gang. That is why they use our language and our calendar is this mapped out game board with planned strategic events from 9/11 to what will be the assassination of Donald Trump. And honestly, my goal is to stop this before it happens by exposing it, by getting people to wake up, by saying enough is enough. We don't need it to happen to know that it's going to happen. We can go through history and see how they have done this systematically again and again. Donald Trump will be the next. JFK died on the first day of Sagittarius. Sagittarius. And here's a good one you can look up. The Andy Griffith Show on Christmas Day, December 25th, 1961, the year JFK was elected, they had an episode about a bootlegging family getting busted at 411 Elm Street. I have an old video on this. JFK was shot from 411 Elm Street. Supposedly that's where Oswald's bullet came from. 411 Elm Street, the book depository. In Jewish gematria, the word assassin equals 411. 411, the reflection of 114, President of the United States, 114. That episode, the Andy Griffith Show on Christmas Day, it was exactly 144 days after the 44th president was born, Obama. Obama was born August 4th, 1961. From his birthday to Christmas Day, a span of 144 days. Obama, the 44th president, 44, 144. Remember, after JFK was the Civil Rights Act in 64. Civil rights equals 64. Barack Hussein Obama equals 64. Obama elected the 44th president 44 years after the Civil Rights Act. What happened at the beginning of Obama's presidency? Donald Trump started the birther argument. So Obama's administration began with Trump headlines. It's now ending with Trump becoming the president. What a joke. It was all foretold. The word birther in gematria equals 44. Obama number 44, but Trump the 44th person. There's that movie about the presidential assassination, Vantage Point, another 144 example. Go see my videos on the assassinations of other people throughout history. There's so many examples of people being killed by 44 and 144. Malcolm X died on a date with a life lesson number of 44. His assassin got 44 years in prison. His assassin's name equals 44. Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassin died in prison on a date with 144 numerology. 30 years after the death of MLK. Another one, Saturn. Malcolm X equals 93. Martin Luther King Jr. equals 93. Saturn 93. Both of them dead at age 39, like the number of books in the Old Testament. So we're talking about time, assassinations, the number of the beast, how all of this is interrelated. Notice that the word time also sums to 47, like beast, like agent, like president. Not a coincidence. Donald Trump election night in the hotel that's hosted every president since JFK. It was 47 floors tall, the Midtown Hilton Hotel. Hillary Clinton was in the Javits Center, 47. Yeah, I just did a video on the song, Leonard Cohen's song from 1988, First We Take Manhattan, Then We Take Berlin. Donald Trump was in Manhattan election night in the Hell's Kitchen neighborhood. That song came out in 88. Trump equals 88. So look, we talked about August 30. We talked about in the beginning, the start of the wall, August 13th. We talked about 138, 831, Donald Trump met with the president of Mexico on August 31st. 831, a lot like 831. JFK was shot 831 days after the start of the Berlin Wall. Here's Donald Trump meeting about creating a wall. And again, I asked it then. What was Donald Trump as a candidate doing meeting with a sitting president about a proposed idea? We were foretold that Donald Trump would be installed. Again, Wall and Donald Trump match the date of August 31st, 2016. The date he met with the president about the wall was a date with 48 numerology. Donald Trump 48, Wall 48, Illuminati 48, Hollywood, propaganda, evil. Not a coincidence. Also, recently there was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump in Reno, Nevada on November 5th. He had 2 assassination attempts on him supposedly in Nevada while campaigning. Nevada and Ohio are the only 2 states that sum to 47, like president, like time. November 5th can be written 5/11. Remember the 5th of November. Saturn in Jewish gematria equals 511. From the date Donald Trump announced his presidential campaign, June 16, 2015, to Election Day was also 511 days. The reflection of 511 is 115th. 115, he will become president with the 115th Congress. So anyway, Saturn, 511, very special number. Trump rust-off stage in Reno. Reno has gematria 52 like prophecy, and the date it happened was a date with 52 numerology. Just 3 days before Election Day, 4 days before the announcement of his presidency. Reno, Nevada also sums to 45, like Berlin Wall, like him becoming the 45th president. And here is the magic square of Saturn, where the numbers within it sum to 45. Saturn, the keeper of time, so important to the occult. He was also running against Hillary, who became First Lady in 93. See if there's anything I forgot here. Notice how from the date Trump's campaign began, June 16th, to the date of the assassination attempt, 508 days. 508, a lot like 58. This was an election for the 58th, or it was the 58th presidential election this year that just passed, where Trump was elected. Freemasonry 58, Secret Society 58, Trump Tombstone 58. His building in Hell's Kitchen, near where he was, is 58 stories tall. Remember, Lady Gaga equals 58. She was protesting in front of that building the day after the election. 3 more days to November 8th was 511 days. 511, number for Saturn. Donald Trump joining the 115th Congress as the President of the United States. As absurd as it is. Just some notes on things we touched on. Magnuson Klemenkic Associates, they built the World Trade Centers. Notice how in their blurb, 47's brought up there. Seattle's on the 47th parallel. 47, always an important number to the Freemasons. They have something called Euclid's 47th problem about how to establish a foundation for a building. Foundation equals 47, framework 47. Anyway, this firm from the 47th parallel built the World Trade Centers in 68 when construction began till when they were finished. Their name is Magnuson Klemenkic Associates, a name in gematria that is brilliant in regards to the World Trade Centers. It has gematria of 102. They said the World Trade Center attack lasted 102 minutes. United States of America equals 102. Al-Qaeda in Jewish gematria equals 102. It has gematria of 111, this name. New York equals 111. September 11th is the day that leaves 111 days left in the year. Again, New Year's Day on the Coptic calendar. And let's not forget that the Bush administration, prior to taking the White House, they had a think tank called the Project for a New American Century that called for a new Pearl Harbor to start a new world agenda, foreign and domestic policy. Wars in the Middle East, spies stayed at home. It was all foretold. It all happened. September 11th was New Year's Day of the new century on the Coptic calendar. Project for a New American Century calling for a new Pearl Harbor, written about before the Bush administration took office. And of course, Magnus and Klemenko Associates also equals 156. 911, the 156th prime, connecting to 33. Both the buildings, 1 and 2, that fell that day were 110 stories. 110 stories. The project was proposed and funded by the Rockefeller family. Rockefeller equals 110. So does Osama bin Laden, blamed for their fall. So does the word president. This year, Donald Trump was in the Rockefeller Plaza waiting to see if he'd become the selected president. The third building to fall on 9/11, Building 7, 47 floors tall, each floor 47,000 square feet. President the Small Way, 47. It's all tributes. George W. Bush graduated in 68, 33 years before 2001. From his birthday to 9/11 is a span of 68 days. So Donald Trump wrote this book, The America We Deserve. I'll let you know that the word deserve equals 33. The America We 33, that's how I read it. He published that January 15th, 2000. In this book, he predicts Osama bin Laden to do a massive terrorist attack in New York at the World Trade Centers. How did he nail that? Because he's in the gang and we're living out a planned agenda, which Donald Trump's probably known about since he was a boy. Anyway, that date, 115 numerology that JFK was killed, 115. Trump taken over with the 115th Congress. His book comes out January 15th, The Reflection of 511, numbers coded into his assassination attempts. The America We Deserve in Gematria sums to 90. When you write out 90 as a word, it sums to 33. It also has the 99 coding in it. When you write out 13, it sums to 99. Remember, USA equals 41, 41 the 13th prime, 13 stripes on the flag, 13 colonies, 13 years of public school programming. Also a date with a name gematria of 108, Dealey Plaza, Berlin Wall, geometry. 117, number coded all along Donald Trump all year. Central Intelligence Agency equals 117. Go watch my video from August 31st on Trump's meeting. I go more into that number 117 in that video. Here's from the film Monsters, Inc., full of 9/11 symbolism. The motto is, "We scare because we care." If you've never seen the movie, it's about how monsters need to harness negative energy from people to survive. Well, until they find out that they can be even happier if they just make the people laugh instead of scare them. But we scare because we care. 185 like World Trade Center. This movie just full of the numbers throughout. But my favorite scene is right here when the lineup of monsters first come out and the hands are on the 9 and 11. Just like the hands on David Rockefeller's watch from the cover of Newsweek, April 3rd, 1967. April 3rd's the 93rd day of the year. 93, number for Saturn worship. The year before World Trade Center construction began, he's telling you, 9/11, it's going to be the day. We got a plan. That was also a date with 93 numerology, that cover. Newsweek happens to equal 33. That magazine was established in 33. Go ahead and take a look. When they show the 9/11 up here, the stripe's running through. You can see it. That stripe, look at where it's going through. The region where 9/11 happened. Oh, Truth Seeker. It's so bad. So anyway, again, Donald Trump, Mr. Wall, all synced up with the anniversary of the Berlin Wall. The Trump-Pence ticket reminds of Revelation in the Bible, the warning's trumpets. Revelation's the 27th book of the New Testament. 27 years after the anniversary of the wall, Trump announced as the 45th president. The first book of the New Testament's Matthew, 27 books. Mike Pence, his VP, has the 45 name gematria. If you go back to February this year, I realized how the movie Taxi Driver and what was being coded into the bogus news story about the Kalamazoo Uber driver shooter, do you remember that? I showed how all of it was a riddle with Donald Trump and his coming assassination. And then later this year, well, it passed now, on August 13th, it was a national news headline that Robert De Niro compared Donald Trump to the crazy character from Taxi Driver. August 13th, you guys, Donald Trump, 138, the date the Berlin Wall construction began. Taxi driver in gematria sums to 58. Again, this was the 58th presidential election. Freemasonry 58, Trump tombstone 58. United States equals 40 and 58 with the S exceptions. I'm thinking about the assassination attempt on Reagan, the 40th president. You know? Somebody else also pointed this out with regards to Trump in the 58th election. Humpty Dumpty, who sat on the wall and had a great fall, and then they could never put him back together again. Humpty Dumpty equals 58. And it reminds how United States equals 58. Is the nursery rhyme of Humpty Dumpty going to be done for us? Again, the Freemasons believe in divide and conquer, order out of chaos, and this is how they operate. You know, creating an agenda that's meant to divide people, then doing things throughout time to provoke that division further and further. This is how civil wars have been started in the past from the United States to other parts of the world. It truly seems this is what they're trying to do to us in the U.S. I also wonder if at some date, you know, a president will lead us to war with our neighbors and we'll just become a greater nation. You know, U.S., Mexico, all one giant, even more giant country than perhaps Canada. You know, this agenda, it's going on throughout time. It's a moving agenda. It started on another continent. It spread to the Americas. It led to a genocide. It led to where we now are with Donald Trump as the leader of the free world, as we love to call it. It's a joke, you guys. It's a joke. I've covered a lot of information. I think I forgot to make one point. I might have made it. From the day JFK gave his speech about the Berlin Wall, June 26th, 1963, to the day he died was 149 days. Skull and bones in gematria equals 149. A lot of people think his assassination connected to the Bush family, who are members of Skull and Bones. Remember, the Bushes are from New Haven, Connecticut, where Yale is, where Skull and Bones is. Yale equals 43, like New Haven CT, as you'd write it on an envelope. Bush was the 43rd president, his brother Jeb, the 43rd governor of Florida, his father, the 43rd vice president, plus the 41st president. Skull and Bones in Pythagorean gematria sums to 41, just like USA. His father, Skull and Bones, 41st president, former head of the CIA. CIA connected to the assassination of JFK. Central Intelligence Agency equals 117, number coded next to Trump all year. If you've never seen Truman's letter, written December 22nd, 1963, an op-ed piece, he said why the CIA needed to be gutted and to only have the capacity of collecting information. And he said it in regard to the death of JFK. What was he trying to tell people? And again, 1963, 63 is the number. If you count every number 1 through 63, it sums to 2016, like where we are with the election of Trump, who was in the hotel that's hosted every president since JFK. So I think we covered it all. This is why I think Trump's demise will be May 18th, 2017. I've been trying to do the research to see if it's possible that they could put Hillary in on December 19th. I think that's just something they're holding over people's heads. I don't think it's going to happen. I do think for certain Trump will be assassinated. It might not be May 18th, 2017, but at the same time, knowing how this gang operates by the numbers, seeing the riddle with Trump, JFK, the wall, May 18th, a very, very possible day. If you haven't seen all my past work, the Illuminati card game, all the other assassination foreshadowing, it's all there. Help this work go viral. Help people learn the truth. It's undeniable how Trump's presidency is scripted with the Berlin Wall. You know, if you're trying to share this information with somebody, just start right there. Trump, the Berlin Wall, his meeting with the president on August 31st, the Mexican president. I asked the question then. And, you know, I should have looked even harder at it. Why is someone running for president meeting with the sitting president? Now we know. Till next time, Truth Seeker.